Hello, everybody. Welcome to Waxing with Wade for another week, episode number 56. And as you might have guessed, we're going to be featuring Alice Cooper today. He's coming back. We featured him in the first couple of episodes, but that was more on the album packaging of some of his early albums. I didn't really review a single album all the way through. I've chosen this one because it's very dear to me. It is from 1976, Alice Cooper Goes to Hell. Now, let me tell you, don't be fooled by the title. This is a very fun, tongue-in-cheek, tongue so far in cheek it's coming out the side, it's another limb. Allegory of his life and continuing the story of the little boy named Stephen that he wrote about on Welcome to My Nightmare. This is his follow-up a year later, his second solo album after leaving the Alice Cooper band and using the name, changing his name legally, and solo as Alice Cooper ever since. This album is dear to me because, let me show you the back. Picture of him with regular guy look, with the credits and the songs, and a great lyric sheet, because the lyrics are what make this album, though it's some great music too. And I'm going to read you a little bit of intro and epilogue and prologue on this album, because it's indeed a concept album for sure. It's about devil and hell and Satan and his demons and his alcoholism and his vilification by the public and not public, but by people who thought he was bad for the kids, you know, that he was a bad influence in their rock and roll. He was a monster of some sort, which he really was pretty much a regular guy with a big theatrical stage production that really threw back to old horror films, and he was a big Hollywood guy, rubbed shoulders with all the Hollywood greats, and as I probably mentioned in the other episode, I won't go too much more into that, other than he has been sober for 40 years since the mid-'80s. This was from the height of his alcoholism. He was very creative during this time, very functional alcoholic, but almost drank himself to death in the late 70s before getting clean, sober. This album is the album that got me into Alice Cooper. It introduced me to Alice Cooper because I was a little young and did not know Welcome to My Nightmare when it came out, other than the hit Only Women Bleed, because it was a top 40 hit. He followed that ballad with another hit ballad, which would be his biggest hit single, and you may not even remember it. It's on this album, we're going to hear it, I Never Cry. It's disappeared. It's not played on classic hit stations. It's not played on classic rock stations. You're going to hear it here today. It's a gorgeous ballad. And he would have another on his subsequent album, You and Me. You may remember that song on Lace and Whiskey, his next album. You and me ain't no movie star. What we are is what we are. We share a bed, some popcorn, and TV. Yeah. Remember that song? He had several great ballads and 3 on this album, and I'm going to spotlight a couple of them, but the lyrics are what's fun. He does multiple voices. He speaks as the devil. He speaks as Alice, everyday guy, like a regular guy, trying to beg his way out of hell, and then it centers around this little boy, Stephen, and I'm going to read you the intro and the prologue and the epilogue to the album from here. It's just a paragraph on each end, and it's warm in here with this makeup and wig on, so and the sun coming through the window, so I hope I don't get doused in makeup by the time this is over. Lay still, Stephen, and I'll tell you a bedtime story. I'll tell you a bedtime story that's not for all children. It's a very special story that only special children will understand. It's a half-awake story, and it will be better if you close your eyes. It's a story that takes place in a dream, like other nightmares you have known. It's a dream that Alice has dreamed. You can dream it along with him. You can follow Alice down the staircase, deep down the stairs to the pit where he doesn't want to go, but he has to. And then it ends, the epilogue is, if you go to sleep now, Stephen, you can go down the long and endless staircase and sing sweet songs to Alice and free him. And if you can't get to sleep, Stephen, and in the middle of the night you get out of bed, when everything is quiet and the trees are still and the birds are hiding from the dark, you can lay down on your bedroom floor and press your ear tightly to the boards. If you listen very carefully, you can hear Alice searching for a way out, forever chasing rainbows. Sleep tight, Stephen. Pretty cool, I think, but wait till you hear these lyrics. I'm not going to play this in order because I want to get you hooked. When you hear this song, you're going to want to hear more of the album, I promise you. This is song 1 on side 2, Give the Kid a Break. He's stuck in hell. He's trying to beg his way out, plead his way out. The devil will have no part of it. I love his little puns and lyrics and words like, well, you can probably hear them all right yourself. But look out for him saying, for heaven's sake, and the devil jumping in and saying, watch your language, kid. Bad word in hell. Here we go. Give the kid a break.
Don't know I'm down here. Must be something I said, or some small imperfection in my soul or in my head. Don't know why I'm down here. Don't deserve to roast a bed. Why don't you give the kid a break? Don't you think maybe we could talk this over? You're a reasonable man. Could we discuss my grave situation? I'm a miserable man, and I'm in the front van. Give the kid a break. You know one good reason why I should. Well, all right, so I made a few mistakes. Listen, for heaven's sake.
Watch your language, kid.
Okay, don't get high.
Don't question my judgment.
So this not heavy rock and roll at all. More of a 50s jaunt there with a backup singers. And I'm going to move ahead here, and you'll hear one of the last, the end of it, and the choir turns on him. They're with him, give the kid a break here, but at the end they start saying, don't give the kid a break, and you'll hear him address that.
Come on, you know I've got what it takes. Can't you give me a break?
Sure thing, kid. When hell freezes over.
Hey, guys, I thought you were on my side. Yeah, well, thanks a lot, pals. Listen, boss, maybe we can make a little deal. Is there anything I can say or some kind of fine I can pay? Anything? Don't know why I'm down here. Must be
I'm going to pause that a second and let it finish out, because this choir turns into more of a gospel choir here at the end after he berated them for leaving his side of the argument. And this is going to go straight into a rocker. I'm just going to play a little bit of it. I'm Guilty. It's kind of a little autobiographical, talking about his rough childhood or teenage years and hell raising and whatever else, and before he became a menace to parents in another way as the rocker, Alice Cooper. This is going to go straight into I'm Guilty.
Give the kid a break.
lead guitar from the
Like driving too fast, love going too far. It seems the law's on my ass every time I stick it out at the door.
All right, love that song. And live, I'm a dirt talking, beer drinking, woman chasing minister's son. It's true to life. He was a minister's son. Both of his parents were clergy in the church and a Methodist church, I believe. And now I'm going to play the title cut, the first song on the first side, Go to Hell. And this really talks about his vilification as an artist by parents and by authorities. And you're going to hear him lyrics that start for criminal acts and violence on the stage, for being a brat, refusing to act your age, for all of the decent citizens you've enraged, you can go to hell. For gambling and drinking alcohol constantly, for making us doubt our parents' authority, and on and on and on. This is a great song. My friends, the Drive-By Truckers, covered it at one of their tours when I saw, and it was my favorite cover song they did. They ended their show with it, and I adored it. It's a great rocker, Go to Hell. I'm going to skip about the first 30 seconds. It's got a long intro, and get us in closer to the when it breaks in. Those hilarious lyrics. I do, and so pointed, and just this album is just magical to me. I don't know if you can tell. I'm going to skip ahead and play where it breaks down into a little bit different sound, very majestic and theatrical. Closer to the end. As rocking as it started. Also, I want to mention that, you even make your grandma sick. Only Alice can come up with a line like that. And you'd poison a blind man's dog and steal his cane. And then he goes into that old lady voice, you'd gift wrap a leper and mail it to your Aunt Jane. He's so full of characters and all. I love it. He definitely is in the right business. He's such a performer. Okay, now let me mention this is from his restaurant when I visited about a dozen years ago in Phoenix, which it's closed now. It's no longer there, but Alice Cooperstown with baseball and sports theme mixed with rock and roll. Alice is a huge sports fan, particularly the Detroit and Phoenix teams. Now we're going to play the ballad, I Never Cry. The only song I knew by Alice Cooper when I first knew of Alice Cooper. This was a hit on the top 10, and I listened to the top 10 every week, and I loved this song. It was gorgeous. I didn't realize at the time it was about his alcoholism, and I did not realize what an artist he was when I heard this. I got this album, and boy, was I floored. Here we go, I Never Cry.
Just a heartache that got caught in my eye. And you know, I never cry. I never cry. Sometimes I drink more than I need, until the TV's dead and gone. I may be lonely, but I'm never alone. And the night may pass me by, but I never cry. Take away my eyes. Sometimes I'd rather be blind. Break a heart of stone. Open it up, but don't you leave it alone. 'Cause that's all I've got to give you.
Oh, what a beautiful song by Alice. Oh, I can feel this makeup's running. It's probably everywhere by now. Pardon me. Let me get through here. I got a couple more songs to spotlight. One is Wish You Were Here. Having a hell of a time, my dear. Wish you were here. More great tongue-in-cheek lyrics about being stuck in hell. It starts with some great bongos and a great beat. Great guitar work on this album. Dick Wagner and Steve Hunter. So catchy. Most of these songs are so catchy. They just swept me right in. Now we're going to hear another ballad that is so cool. Wake Me Gently. It's gorgeous. Where you can hear near the end how it's so majestic sounding with strings or synthesized strings at least. Very cool. Love his variety of music on here. Some Broadway sounding stuff, some 50s sounding stuff, some straight out rocking stuff, weird stuff, ballads. You get it all with Alice. Majestic ending with the strings or synthesized strings and just that grandiose sound there. I'm going to make a weird comparison here. That reminds me of Tuesday's Gone by Leonard Skinner. Totally different band and genre. However, it also is a beautiful slow ballad that builds with more and more and strings and synthesizers being strings, whichever, just to give it that full, very orchestral sound. Even more probably surprising from Leonard Skinner than from Alice Cooper based on the rest of the music, but in my opinion anyway. Now, he closes the album with I'm Going Home, but I'm going to try to find the part where he just is talking about himself and being lost and getting back home. Somewhere in here. Let's see. I did spotlight all three of them. I love everything about this album, if you can't tell. I have another repeat artist coming up in a few episodes. I have a guest who wants to do an artist's album that I've done one of their albums previously. And ahead of that, I decided Alice needs to be a repeat artist before someone else. So I decided to do this album this week, and I hope you enjoyed seeing a different side of Alice and how funny an everyday guy he could be, and his way with words, theatricality, and all of that, which I just adore about him. Come back in another week, and I'll have another episode of Waxing with Wade.